Hi everyone, it's Deni here from Angel Handmade Papercraft. Just a heads up before I start, this is a super long video, so please bear with me. I am using a digital stamp from Paper Nest Dolls. This is Butterfly Princess, and I've got her printed onto Express It blending card. I am using Copic Markers to colour her up, and I am leaving this video as real-time colouring, so you can see how long it takes to colour these images in. And yeah, so it's about a 40-minute video, so please bear with me. I have the video in 2 steps so you can see all of the skin colouring, and then I'll go into the colouring on her outfit. So like I said, it's a super long video. I think the first 17 minutes or so is just the skin, and then you can watch the rest of it. I don't have this little lady on a card yet, but hopefully I will soon. I was just mucking around with the new stamp and thought I'd turn my camera on. So I absolutely love this image. She is just gorgeous. And yeah, so let's get started. I've already started, but let's get started on the talk over about the image. So I am using Copic Markers. So I've already laid down my E000. Just a very rough coat, doesn't need to be perfect because it is the bottom layer and it will be coloured over the top of. So I am now going in with my E04 marker. I'm just mapping out where the darkest areas would be. So around her face where her hair lays in front of her face, and underneath the top of her fringe, and just mapping in her nose. So then underneath her chin, and then down her right hand side, and just to the side of the strap, popping in all the dark areas on her arms. Her arms are behind her dress, so therefore the dress will pop some shadow onto her arms. And then just in the creases of her wrist and her elbow, and then doing the same thing on the other arm as well. So I do have lots of other colouring videos on my YouTube channel, so if you don't want to be watching this in super slow mode, please go and watch one of my other videos. This one is going to be very long, so we're about 2.5 minutes in with about 35 minutes to go. So just to show you how long it takes me to colour, and that is me cutting out little tiny bits and pieces here and there. So it did take quite a while, but I do love colouring. It's nothing makes me happier than watching an image be finished. So just the inside of her legs there will be dark, so I'm colouring those in, and then just adding in behind her toes because her toes are curled up. That will create a little bit of shadow in that crease there, and then just between the toes where each one will create a shadow onto the next. So just mapping those out. And now we're going in with the E11 marker, which is the next darkest down marker, and then we're going to start pulling that colour out. So we're just grabbing right on the edge of that E04 marker and just pulling it into the skin. So just working my way around. I'm not adding a lot of ink at this stage because I do have lots of colours in her skin. If you're only using, 3 or so markers, then obviously you will pull that out a little bit more. So working the way around her chin. So this is my first Paper Nest Dolls image that I've ever coloured. I actually didn't own any. I've seen these little girls posted a few days ago. They're from the magical collection that's just been released, and I knew that I had to have these. So I've got a few more which I am super excited to share with you. Hopefully I will be able to get some colouring done the next few days. As you can hear, my voice is a little bit better than it has been recently. I am still quite unwell, back to the doctors again today for some different medications, but at least I have my voice, so you guys don't actually know how sick I am. So just working my way through. I'm seeing a different doctor at work today, so somebody else had a look at me and gave me something else. Went and spent a fortune at the pharmacy, and hopefully I can be all fixed up soon. I think it's the hot and cold flushes is getting me down. It's so draining being hot one second and cold the next. I don't know what's happening to my body, but we're getting there. All right, so now I'm going into her face and I'm starting to pull that E04 out. I'm rounding her face out a little bit as I go. I am a page turner, so I like to turn my image as I'm coloring. Completely normal. Some people can sit there and color all the same way. Me, I need to turn. So whatever makes you happy, you do it. Okay, so now we're moving down to the next color. So this is the E21, and now we're going to pull those colors in just that little bit more and start giving her some definition into her skin. Working my way through on the arms. Like I said to you guys, I do have quite a few colors in my skin tones. So if you are not using this many, obviously pull that color in a little bit more. I just got a new Copic order in today. I'm slowly changing all of my markers over to sketches. I love the oval barrel. It's a lot more comfortable in my hand. And I do have a full set now of markers. So now I'm happy to start replacing, and I just pack away all the extras in my little bag here. And just keeping them for that just in case moment. And also starting to build up my refills. So I've got quite a few refills now, which is pretty cool. I remember the days when I, had to buy my first refill and I'm like, oh my God. And now like my E000, for instance, I'm actually onto my second refill. So just goes to show you how much coloring I do and how much ink I go through. So I'm now pulling that color out into her face. As you can see, she's now starting to become a little more human, a little more defined, a few more details here and there. And I'm just going back around and just pulling that out a little bit more. All right, so now we're going to go down to our E00. So now we're pulling that color out quite a bit more. So I'm just working my way through that image and making more of an effort to pull that color out and making sure that it's all starting to blend. Step kitties should be home soon, so I'm hoping to try and get a fair chunk of this voiceover done before all the noise arrives. So I'm just working my way through. That's the problem with doing a real-time video, is that when I do the voiceover, I have to talk a lot. I don't like talking a lot. So please forgive me if I talk about crap. I'm trying to think of what's going on to tell you guys about. Obviously I can't talk about the colouring the whole way through because you can see what I'm doing. So here I am adding that shading in to her legs. And pulling all of that colour out. Not a lot has been happening here. We had Mother's Day a couple of days ago. Both of my boys were here for Mother's Day, which was lovely. Hubby bought me some gorgeous, gorgeous flowers and a little daffodil plant from all the kids. So that's always nice. Unfortunately, I had to work Mother's Day, but we had a nice dinner with everybody, so that was lovely. Husband went and got some pizza from our favourite pizza shop, so kids were excited. They love a good pizza. And yeah, so that was Mother's Day. Going to work. We don't all have the luxury of being home on Mother's Day, so I was one of those mums that was working her bottom off. It's starting to cool down here at nights now, as we're starting to get into the winter weather. The temperature's starting to drop a little bit. The electric blanket is on the bed. I am a temperature feeler, so as soon as it starts getting cold, I am freezing. don't want to get out of bed in the morning either. I wish it was school holidays and we could just stay in bed and stay in our pajamas all day. It would be lovely. Alright, so I've just popped in some R20 on her cheeks. I've blended that out with some E00, and then I'm now going back in with my E000. So now with the E000, we already have one coat down on the bottom, and so now we're starting to blend it all out. So now that this E000 is going on, you shouldn't see that graduation from each of the colours. They should all be blended in completely, and it'll just look like shadow. So I'm just blending all that in now and making sure it's all nice and defined and all nice and blended. I think my E000 marker may need a bit of a refill by the look of it. It's just pulling just that little bit. So I'll have to remember to do that before I start the next card. I'm just pulling all of that colour in. I think I'm going to get the skin tone done, and then I will stop this voiceover, go and get the kids' dinner started, and I will be back to do a second voiceover for the rest. See you soon. Hey guys, I'm back. So as you've seen, I've finished all the skin now. Now we're going to start working on her outfit. So I decided I wanted to go with some greens. So I am using YG03. So I'm starting with the lightest colour. I'm putting all the lightest colour down first. As always, just a rough coat. It doesn't matter too much because all of this will be blended out on top of anyway. So I'm just quickly laying out any sections that if I do rough might go on to the next area, and I wasn't sure yet what I was going to do with the bottom half of her dress. So I'm now just popping on a nice rough coat. Doesn't need to be perfect at all. Alright, so for our darkest colour, I'm here somewhere. There I am. We're going to go with YG67 for the darkest colour. So underneath her dress, where one layer sits on top of the next layer, will be dark. Obviously it creates that shadow, and then just in the insides of the petals of that skirt and just underneath her finger there. So I'm just going through and doing each of those petals, adding in all of that dark shading, and then we'll go in and blend all of that out. Whew, I'm a little bit short of breath now. Just been doing a few mummy duties and it's just taken it out of me. So just working my way through here. At this rate, I might have to stop and take some Ventolin, I think. We'll keep going. Let's see how we go. So the right hand side petal is underneath the second one from the right, so the shadow will be on that side. Alright, so now we're going back in with our YG17, which is my next darkest colour, or my mid-tone. Starting to pull all of that dark colour out and slowly blending it, and then we'll go back in with that lightest green and blend it all out. So I'm just working my way through. We're not quite halfway through the video yet. It amazes me to see how long it actually takes to colour up an image. I've never actually taken that much notice before. I normally just sit and colour and play and video and edit it all and don't realise how long it takes. So, you know, take these little 10-15 minute videos for granted because it doesn't take me that long. It takes me a lot longer. Alright, so now we're going in with our lightest tone, the YG03, and we're just starting to blend all of that out. So Shay, if you're watching this video, hun, this one's for you. Hopefully it'll give you some tips and ideas, and hopefully it can help you blend a little bit better. Alright, so I missed the last couple of petals there. My video camera died and I didn't notice, but I did colour them all much the same. So now we're going to go in with the rest of her dress. I decided to do the top section of her dress in that same green blend, and we'll also do the straps as well in the same blend. Again, I wasn't quite sure at this stage what colour I would do the straps, but we went with the green anyway. And sorry guys, just in the middle of multitasking here. Okay, so now we're going to go in with our darkest colour, map out all of those dark sections, which will be the sides of her dress, because her arms are creating that little shadow, and then just the center where it dips in, and then just slightly around the bottom, because the bottom of the dress actually pops up a little tiny bit. So now we're going to go in with the mid-tone and start pulling all of that colour out and trying to start getting that blend working. And then we'll finally go back in with our lightest marker and we will blend and pull all of those colours out together. I really love this image. It's turning out so pretty. I've already had a request to do another one in some different colours, so I'm hoping to try and get that done later today, and hopefully get it onto a pretty card. So I can't wait. Sorry guys. Alright, so we're just about done with the top half of the dress. Just getting that nice blend, making sure that it's all a nice and smooth transition. Pulling it all into the center of the dress, which is going to be the lightest section, and then just making sure all of those little pleats are blended as well. We don't want them to look like I've just drawn over them with the Copic, so we're blending them out nicely. Okay, so this is about where I hadn't yet decided what color I was doing the straps, and here I am. I've just pulled them back again and decided to do those straps in green as well. I thought it would be cute. Now in the end I do decide to do the bottom half of the dress green as well, just going with some lighter tones of the green markers. It actually didn't end up looking as different on the two layers as I hoped it would be, but I'm happy with it, so that's all that matters. So I will have all of the Copic markers listed on my blog that I have used on this image. And while I'm still thinking about that bottom section of her dress, I decided to start on the wings. So I'm using some R markers and some B markers, and I'm going to blend those out and give her some gorgeous fairy wings. So I'm just going in first and starting out with my R markers for the center of the insides of the wings. We'll blend that out with a lighter color, and then we'll work our way from the outside in with the blue markers. So this is the R40, so I'm just going in and starting to blend that R00 out. Just not quite to the center because I had more blending to do yet. I had a little hair or something sitting on my image. Flicking it out of the way there. Alright, so now we're going to go and do the edges of the wings. So I'm going to go in with my B00 first. I like to flick away from me when I'm doing things like this. So I'm just adding a really light coat. I didn't want too much of that dark blue. So flicking that in. Not forgetting this little wing that's hiding behind her arm here. And now we're going to go in with our B000, and we're going to start flicking that in towards the center, and then finally we'll go back in with the R40s and blend the two all together. Turned out quite cute. I've done these a few times and they always turn out gorgeous. I love colouring fairy wings. I'm not very good at doing that transition of the like the invisible, the see-through type wings or satin wings or however you want to word it. I'm not very good at that yet, but ones like this I can do and they look gorgeous. Alright, so here I am now going in with that. I actually went back in with some more of that. Nope, wrong marker. So this is the R4 zeros again, flicking all of that R00 in and then flicking the blue in as well using the same marker. It actually didn't turn that blue purple, so if anybody's worried that I'm about to turn my wings purple, it actually didn't. I think because it's such a light colour and it's got so much colourless blender in it, it just blended it out. So just working my way through, pulling all of that colour. I will add some Wink of Stella or some glitter or something to those wings later on, but for now I'm just adding the Copic markers on. How cute do they look? I'm so excited. Alright, so here I am playing with some green blends to try and get something that's a little bit lighter. So I'm going in with my YG01 as my lightest colour. As always, just a quick coat, doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, so what am I using next? I can't remember. YG06 is what I'm using here. So I'm adding Copic underneath all of that top layer of dress because that will be creating a shadow on the bottom, and then all the right hand side of those pleats, and then as I get to the center you'll do both, and then as you get to the right hand side you'll do the left hand side. So I'm just working my way through adding all of that color in. It doesn't look very dark here, but it is in real life. It's not too many shades lighter than what the top coat is. So here I am starting to pull that color out. And adding in all of the areas. Starting to look super cute. Alright, now I'm going in with the YG01 again, which is the lightest colour, and pulling all of that colour out and making sure it's nice and blended. It looks like I'm going over it a lot, but I'm actually not. And you can still see the transition between all of the colors on the real image as well. It's just because I'm working right underneath my light, as you can see in the reflection on that top left hand corner there, can't get my light in the right spot where it's not going to reflect off my glass media mat. So in the top corner, it doesn't affect us too much and it doesn't drive me crazy yet. So here I am going in to colour her crown. I'm giving her a nice gold crown, so we're using YR21, 24 and 27, which is my go-to gold combo. So as always, I lay down the lightest colour first, and then I'm going in and mapping the darkest colours. And then we'll blend that out. Don't want the chisel end. It doesn't work for me. Super excited. I got a delivery of some more Copics yesterday. I am now at a full set, and I am slowly starting to replace all of my chow markers with sketch markers. I do prefer the oval barrel of the sketch markers, and it means that I don't have to refill my markers as often because the chows are a round barrel, and they don't hold as much ink, which means for me, someone who's colouring all the time, it means that I've got to refill them a little bit more often. Not too often, but enough that it's going to drive me crazy. Um, and so, yeah, now that I'm at a full set, I'm at capacity, yay! I am starting to replace those and starting to order all of the refills. So every time I do a craft online, which is the company that I purchased my Copic markers from here in Australia, I try to add a couple of refills for markers that I use all the time and one or two sketch markers to replace my chows. So that's pretty exciting. I shared some photos on Instagram today that you can have a look at if you're interested to see my awesome collection. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. I love my Copic markers. And for those of you who know my story, I actually, when I first purchased Copic markers, I think I ordered like, I don't know, 5 or 6 markers, and I actually really hated them. I absolutely hated them. I ended up packing them away for like 3, 4, 5 months, and the lady who I originally bought those from, she had her own company that sold Copic markers. She had a little craft shop. She messaged me and she's like, "Why have I still not seen any photos from you of what you've done?" I said, "I hate them." And she said, "What do you mean you hate them?" And I told her, and she says, "No, you need to pull them back out and you need to persevere." So I did as I was told, and I persevered, and here we are. I am completely self-taught. I have bought a couple of kitten cloud art classes, but they didn't work for me. I think it was just that I didn't have enough patience to sit there and learn online. Like, I'm more of a hands-on sort of person. So I ended up teaching myself. I'm not a professional colorist, and I wouldn't call myself advanced. Sometimes I just wing it. But I am quite happy with my skill level, and I'm proud of myself for giving it a go and sticking with them. So, yeah. Elise, who runs Kitten Clouder, for those of you who don't know, she is actually an Aussie as well. And the lady that I was telling you about that I first bought my Copic markers from, Elise actually used to work with her Copic markers and things. And that's how I first knew about Elise. She used to give me a few tips and things before Kitten Clouder came about. And yeah, she's a fellow Aussie, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, if you're unsure if online classes will work for you, buy some of the basic classes. She's got skin and hair classes, she's got clothing classes, all things to meet everybody's needs. And yeah, there is links for those on my blog as well. And if you let her know that Angel Handmade Papercraft has referred you, I would much appreciate that. It's nice to know that, we're helping each other out. So now I am finished all of her dress and I am working on her hair. So I am using E71, 74, 77 and 79. It sounds like a lot of markers, but it actually wasn't, really. As I was colouring, I got exactly the tone that I was after. I may have been able to skip maybe one of those markers, but I'm really happy with the way that this image turned out. So here I am going back in with my E70 marker and I'm starting to blend all of those colours out. I really love the transition that these colours gave, and I'm super, super happy. Not in the card making mind at the moment, so I'm super happy just to sit down and colour. and just work on some new images. So this is actually my first Paper Nest Dolls image. I didn't own any before. I'm not sure why. They're absolutely gorgeous. And the girls who design for Paper Nest Dolls do an awesome job. Go and check out their Facebook page and the shop. She's got rubber and digital stamps, and they're just gorgeous. I love them. So I'm just working my way through her hair. It is very, very tedious the way that I am doing it. I do swap and change the way that I colour hair. So this one I'm doing it in little sections. Normally like I would do the flicking technique, but I just wanted to do something different on this hair. And it came out exactly as I was hoping that it would. Now, for those of you who have stuck with me for the last half an hour, we have about 7 minutes left of colouring. So thank you very much for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. I hope I haven't bored you too much. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below the video. Or if you would like to contact me directly, you can do so on my Angel Handmade Papercraft Facebook page, and I will get back to you. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, I'd also love for you to do that. I've got Instagram, Pinterest, all of those things, so you can check me out there as Angel Handmade Papercraft. So here I am working on the other side of her hair, slowly pulling all of those colours through. Just using the edge of the marker here, so I'm not adding too much colour, but not adding minimal amounts. How sweet is she? I love her. I purchased a few other images as well, so I can't wait to get those coloured up and share them with you. It's so interesting watching myself colour. It's not something that I normally do, because normally I just speed it all up, cut out a few bits and pieces, and I've never actually sat here and watched a whole video of myself colouring, and I'm finding it very, very difficult to talk all the way through it. I don't have any music overs, so is that what they're even called? I don't even know. So I'm trying to not bore you too much with my life stories, trying not to overshare too much. So we're just about done with the bottom section of her hair, and then we'll go in and colour the top half, and then she will be done. She's actually still sitting on my desk at the moment. My husband was home today and he'll be home again tomorrow, so I've done a little bit of colouring while I was waiting for him to come back from dropping the stepkids off at school this morning. I dropped my son off and he went and dropped off the other kids. We don't have a big car as yet, so we're still moving around in 2 vehicles, which is fun. 7-seaters are so expensive, and I've told him I'm not driving a van, so it'll be a 4-wheel drive or something like that. And we just don't have the money to be doing it at the moment, so still running around in 2 vehicles. Thankfully the other kids are only about 15 minutes away, so it's not too much. It's not too much in petrol and that sort of thing. Or diesel. My husband's car is diesel. Just going back in with my mid-tone here. Pulling all of that colour out. Working my way through. almost done. 2.5 minutes to go or thereabouts. I've run out of things to say, I'm sorry. I hope there's not too much blankness through this video. I'm now going back in with my E70 marker and I will just do the finalization of the blending, pulling all of that colour out and getting that nice blend ready. Super excited to have this one all coloured up and hoping to get her on a card soon if I'm back in my card making mind. I don't know about you guys, but I have days where I just want to colour. I can just sit and colour for hours, and then there'll be other days where I just go through my little basket of images that I've coloured up previously, and then I'll just pump out a few cards. So I have a few days of everything. Oh, tiring myself. All right, so we've got about a minute to go. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for sticking around and watching this video all the way through. I really appreciate it. I'd love for you to hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. The image links will be below the video, and any other links that you were after will be on my blog, so you can check those out there. And I hope to see you all soon. Thanks for stopping by. Come on, Deni, nearly done. Flicking in that last little bit of colour. And that is her just about complete. I just noticed that I missed a tiny bit on the top of her head there. So I'm just going back in and quickly blending that out. So in with my mid-tone. And blending it all out. So that is Butterfly Princess all done. Thank you, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.